welcome back, everybody, to Beggars Canyon Boys, episode 41.
Oh.
41. This is how you can remember it. It's Jackie Robinson -1.
Okay, yeah, because I certainly need like a device to remember that, and also I think it's going to come up more often, like what episode we did today.
Yeah, it'll still be relevant beyond like this intro right now.
Yeah.
So
41.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So now we know what episode.
Knock that out of the park.
Hey.
Take me out to the. Okay.
Yeah. So like next episode will be like our Jackie Robinson episode. I guess.
Oh yeah, dude. How should we celebrate?
I guess we could wear his Dodgers jersey. I don't really want to like buy one, but
yeah, just the number. I feel like people, because you know what would be the most like recognizable thing associated with the number 69?
Like we could wear like a 69, like a picture of people 69ing on our clothing.
No, I was more so just trying to say I think he's associated with that number in the sense that 69 is associated with the act of 69.
Yeah. That's true. Unless you're like a huge Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fan, then you might have a different association with 42.
Is that the answer to the universe's questions or whatever?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Never read it.
Neither have I.
Just seen the movie.
Oh, not even have seen the movie, so.
Oh, well, you at least knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, we're not talking about any of that today. 41, episode 41. It's our Jackie Robinson episode -1. Figure I'll go ahead and say it again. Today we are talking about the Clone Wars, baby. We're back. We're back to the Clone Wars after a little break. Season 2 has begun, and we are diving into it head first. Oh man, season 1 ended on a great cliffhanger. What's going on with Rhoda, or not Rhoda, Zero the Hutt? Yeah. Cad Bane's here. Don't worry, none of that is mentioned once at all.
Truly thought I missed something, dude. Especially because, like, maybe you were joking about it, but I was like, what's going to happen? Where are they taking Zero? And you played into that a little bit. I don't know if you were just joking with me or whatnot, but...
Well, I know there are episodes that follow that up, and I thought that they were going to be these episodes in my memory, and it would also make sense that the next episodes, especially because I knew for a fact they were Cad Bane episodes, so I was like, okay, so that's probably following up on that. But no, we will get the resolution to that in season 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was just looking at all of this today because I was like, man, I know that some episodes are out of chronological order, but really how bad is it? And I was looking at the list of chronology today, and I will pull it up. So
it's cool that they did that, though, honestly. I do like that, like in theory.
Yeah, but it's just confusing because...
But I think it stops you from having limitations of like being like, oh, I have to tell the story exactly in this way. So I think that's probably why they did it.
True.
But it is, I guess, confusing in situations like this.
Yeah, maybe with like scheduling and stuff too. It's like, oh, well, these people who wrote the first episode of this arc are now busy, but we do want to eventually come back to it. So
yeah, that's probably the bigger reason, actually. I would guess, just so they could also like parse out storylines.
True. So apparently these episodes, the first 3 episodes of season 2, come chronologically before the last episode of season 1. So although that was our introduction to Cad Bane as viewers, this is the introduction to Cad Bane to the universe, which kind of makes sense from the way the episode goes.
Yeah.
And it does give more of like an intro to Cad Bane here rather than just there he is.
His crew is like more fleshed out.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wow, we didn't really touch on them that much at all in the last ones.
Mm-hmm. And then, it's saying here, so Hostage Crisis was season 1, episode 22. That's the 51st chronological episode.
Oh,
then
wow.
episode 52 chronologically is season 3, episode 9, Hunt for Zero. So there you go.
Yeah.
And this one, these first 3 episodes of the season are chronologically in order, but then episode 4 technically takes place after episodes 17, 18, and 19 of season 2. So season 2 goes chronologically, episode 1 through 3, 17, 18, 19, then 4 through 14, then 20, 21, 22.
Okay, I guess, are we going to learn more about like the separatist dealings that were going on in that last episode we watched towards the end of the season then? Or was that just background dressing for, the little Anakin and Padme plotline there?
I think more of that, and like the whole new droid foundry being built is playing into an upcoming long arc that's like the main big arc of the season.
Which, by the way, I guess like I understand the numbers game with droids, but them being like, yeah, we're gonna build the biggest droid factory ever, and it's like really gonna turn the tide of the war is not super convincing like at all. And I don't know why they think like that's gonna do anything.
I guess in this one it was like, oh, now we have separatist money backing, but they were saying that what's his name, Rush Clovis, was working with the banking clan, which like the banking clan was there in Attack of the Clones on Geonosis with like Sand Hill and the Muns and stuff. So I don't know. I agree with you.
Also, by the way, I know, jumping ahead, Clover, Star Wars Unlimited card, right?
Oh yeah. Clovis. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, I've seen him a few times. Like, why is he a little familiar? The name's a little familiar. It's because Star Wars Unlimited.
And I had to even re-look it up because I'm like, Rush Clovis, like, is this really the first time we're seeing him? Because that name sounds so familiar. And he is in future episodes, but this is his first ever appearance in Star Wars. So
I mean, I know we're talking about the last episode here before getting into like the main ones we watch, but he's an interesting character. I thought it was going to be like a little more generic, but
no, he's kind of cool.
I like him. I want to see more of him.
Yeah, me too.
And those big green eyes.
Yeah, but so we talked about, because we're going through it in release order, even though it might be a little bit confusing. But no, that's not our fault that it's confusing. That's the show.
They built it out that way.
Yeah, we're watching the show how it came out. So that should be, I guess, in regards to what the goal of the podcast was initially, that should be what we stick to. So first 4 episodes of season 2, we have
Cad Bane.
I know. I'm just trying to get the names of all of them.
Hey, I wasn't down yet. I was just trying to do his voice because as we've talked about it.
Oh, little one. No,
you can't do the modulation. That's the problem. It's like so cool. Really makes it. Yeah, it sounds really great.
He's just it's a great voice, a great new character. He is a badass, and I like him a lot.
And I'll say this comment because it applies broadly to all the episodes that had to do with him. Man, they did such a good job with the writing in these episodes of making me like really believe Cad Bane is super intelligent. Yeah. Like getting a little bit lucky, and also his super great survival and like just generally thievery instincts.
Totally. And they do the thing of like, oh, he got away again in this, but like I believe it every time. Yeah. And it's kind of, it didn't bother me that it was like, oh, this is like a cartoon, and of course the bad guy gets away again to come back later. Like, it all felt earned to me in these ones.
It was also like super tense every time you thought like they were about to catch on to Cad Bane, or like he was about to get caught or something. So I was just, man, he's got something up his sleeve.
So we got Holocron Heist, Cargo of Doom, Children of the Force. Those are the Cad Bane episodes. And then we've got Senate Spy. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's break it down. We got the first episode. We've got Holocron Heist. This is directed by Justin Ridge, who's done a few before, and written by Paul Dini of the Batman animated series.
Whoa, fame. Okay. Harley Quinn.
That's right. So in this one, the main plot of it is that Darth Sidious has hired Palpatine to...
That's weird.
Yeah. Darth Sidious has hired Cad Bane to break into the Jedi Temple and steal a holocron that has the list of names of Force-sensitive babies.
Terrible data to have, like, just
on
accessible.
One cube. Yeah. But they feel like, oh, it's pretty safe. But then there's the whole thing of like shapeshifters exist in this universe, guys, and you seem to like never acknowledge that.
Yeah. Also, have we seen a shapeshifter before this episode? I feel like we had one really early on.
Zam Wesell in Attack of the Clones, the bounty hunter at the that tries to kill Padme at the beginning of Attack of the Clones,
yeah.
is a shapeshifter.
Gotcha.
The same species as this person.
Yeah, it feels weird to see shapeshifters in Star Wars.
Yeah, I know, and it is kind of an overpowered thing that like doesn't get addressed, and nobody can really like sense it with the Force. They just notice that they're like acting strange.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So that species is a Claudite, and that's Cato Parasiti is the shapeshifting lady. In this, so this one starts with a whole battle on Felucia. It's related thematically to Ahsoka's characterization, but kind of unrelated to the main plot. And it's not really worth digging into too much unless you have something to say about it. But I did just want to say, we were talking before we started about how good the animation looks in these episodes, and the quick little space battle that happens while Plo Koon and Anakin are going down to help Ahsoka looked incredible.
Yeah,
like the ships and the space action. Yeah, that's what I just said. But it looked amazing, I thought.
I agree. Also, like, I guess that's also why I'm like, man, these episodes look so insanely good. Like, just starting the season like that, it was like immediately, it felt so different. Like, I don't know what the behind the scenes was, if they just got like a bunch more budget. What was the break between season 1 and season 2?
Not long. Like, just a regular like summer.
I guess they just figured it out probably with their animation team and technology.
Yeah, I think so. They're just getting like more and more confident with it, I guess.
Plo Koon looking cool too.
Yeah, I mean, he's just great. And I wanted to call out the Republic gunships, like the landing crafts that they have. I love that the squads of clones have like different little like paint jobs done on the front of their ships, and these ones had like a cool like Plo Koon design on them with like clone troopers and stuff. I'm like, yes, okay, this is just a little thing, but it does cement that like the clones respect him and they view him as a good leader so much that they're like, yeah, we're Plo Koon's clones, we're gonna paint him on our ships. And
yeah,
like not every Jedi has their clones painting them on the side of their ship.
You will never see Obi-Wan on the side of a ship, dude.
Well, that's because Commander Cody doesn't allow that kind of shenanigans to go on in his squad.
He runs a clean ship.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. So yeah, Ahsoka's like, no, I don't have to pull out of the fight, and they're like, no, you're gonna get overrun. You just don't see it yet. That's like thematically what's going on, is she's a little overconfident.
Yeah.
Something we've never really seen from her before. It's kind of a new angle on the character.
She is the Padawan of Anakin, though. So
yeah.
like it really tracks. And Anakin is like really, really nice to her, which that's like obviously not a bad thing. But anytime she makes a mistake, he's also really forgiving.
Yeah.
And like, it's not your fault. It was he like takes responsibility for it almost every time it's happened, and it's bad for Ahsoka, I think. Like, I don't know if they're intentionally going somewhere with that, but I feel like she does not really take a lot of responsibility for her mistakes. Like, she looks a little sad sometimes, but then she does the same things over and over again.
True. I will say, like, she definitely does grow, but it will be interesting to see if that's actually like an earned gradual change, or if just like one episode they decided like, okay, now she's grown. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I don't feel like the character's like stagnant in where she's going at all. I just feel like she's going in a direction that's like closer to Anakin.
Yeah.
But we also know Anakin is going in a direction that leads him to Darth Vader. So it's like not a good direction for Ahsoka to be going in.
True, but yeah, I think that is an interesting thing to keep an eye on, and I genuinely don't remember like how well that pays off. I know Ahsoka goes to super interesting places as a character, but that specifically is a good call out. And I think for Anakin, he's probably thinking like, oh, she feels extremely guilty about this, because every time she does seem to like take it super hard and like really beat herself up about it. So he probably, whether it's right or wrong, is just like, oh well, I don't want her to feel like that, so I'll just like take all the blame for it.
Yeah. And
But
I think though he also truly does like feel like he's to be blamed for it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that is like part of his character and like sort of self-centeredness, is that like everything's my fault, and like
Yeah.
I could have been the one to stop it and all that. So
Hey, look, I see the positive side of him in that though. He just wants to be able to do everything for everyone.
oh yeah,
He would be a meddler, if he was. I guess he is kind of in a position of authority, and he is kind of a meddler.
yeah. But he's kind of like Spider-Man gets characterized like that a lot, where it's like his guilt and his desire to help everybody can sometimes become like a very selfish thing of like, no, it's all on me.
Yeah.
Like I'm the only one who matters because I'm so powerful and I can like change things by myself, which I think is an interesting
Yeah.
thing.
There's been a couple of times, and maybe in one of these episodes even, I'm maybe mixing up with like the ones we talked about before though, when the ship was going down, where I think like Anakin was gonna go basically sacrifice himself or try some like, Hail Mary play that was probably gonna end up with him getting killed. But and Ahsoka has to be like, no, wait, what?
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
we don't need to go after like whatever we're going after right now, or whatever it was. The holocron, maybe it was this episode. Because I think it was when like it was gonna explode on the ship or whatever.
Right, right.
And he was like, I'm gonna go get it or get Cad Bane, one of those things.
And she's like, no, Master, we need to leave now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mirroring her not earlier leaving.
That's true. It's almost like they learn from each other.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't want to see that relationship break up at all. I don't want to see like an Obi-Wan Anakin happen there, because it would be really sad, I think.
yeah, it would be sad. It is different. It is different. But I mean, it's
Trying
not
to read.
spoiling anything. They're not together in Revenge of the Sith. So
Maybe there's a deleted scene.
yeah, yeah. Nah, it's great though. It's really good stuff. They're what ends up happening with them, I think, is awesome. So,
I'm thinking like I shouldn't do this, but I'm trying to piece together the marketing images I've seen on Disney Plus.
no.
I think I saw her in the Rebels animated series.
I don't think so. I don't think you saw that. So then after they get back from this battle on Felucia, Ahsoka is kind of punished into doing, to quote Boss Nass, into doing library work with Jocasta Nu. So she's chilling out in the library with Jocasta Nu.
She's cool, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Except she well, this isn't necessarily confirmed, but there's a whole subtle aspect to her character that she and Count Dooku were in love, and she was coerced by him to deleting Camino from the archives, and that's why none of the Jedi knew about the clones before it happened and stuff. But she does let herself get taken out by a bounty hunter.
I feel embarrassed for like the
Parasiti.
Jedis who get taken out like that. It's like, come on, like you're a Jedi.
Yeah, that other guy, Master Innocence.
Yeah.
Who's already dead at the beginning of this. But so yeah, the shapeshifter goes in pretending to be this guy, Master Innocence, get access to the vault with the holocrons. And the whole thing's just like a heist with Cad Bane. Yeah.
It's cool though, really cool. And I like that the Jedi know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like on edge about it, but they're not sure where they're going to be infiltrated from or like what the goal of the infiltration is. So there's kind of like a little mystery element to it too. I mean, we know, but they don't.
Yeah, it's cool. And I quite like Toto 360, his little droid companion.
Yeah.
Who normally is a kind of character that really is annoying to me.
No, he's great.
But I think for whatever reason, the specificity of, maybe it's just in the performance of the voice acting, like I like him a lot.
Me too. Yeah.
Just like pretty charming and magnetic like character for how little he does, really.
His brutal exeunt from this world was quite sad for me. A cool little dude just having a silly little time in those vents.
He didn't know Cad Bane put a freaking bomb in him. But
Yeah.
I do love, like, from the perspective of, I don't know, it's something I like in stories sometimes where, like, we've been following Toto and Cad Bane the whole time, as well as, like, Mace Windu, Yoda, and Obi-Wan on their side of it. But they have no idea who Toto
Yeah.
360 is. He shows up to them for like 2 seconds and he's like, "Oh, and then they're like, it's a bomb!"
Yeah.
And then and that's it for them. Like, he's a 2 second moment in their lives.
Yeah,
But
it's a really fun, like, cinematic moment too, though, because also Anakin and Obi-Wan are on the other side of the vent.
yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
all three kind of groups are converging at once
Mm-hmm.
and not really aware of each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, the shot of him like going back into the vent and then the vent cover going back on before
Yeah.
the explosion is so funny to me.
I know, poor guy.
Yeah. Does he come back? Will we see him again, or is that just it for him?
I forget, but because in my head I'm like, oh, he has to be in more than just this episode, because I remember him being like this big presence in the show, but maybe he just stuck with me from this one episode. I honestly don't remember.
Well, rest in peace. Another good droid gone.
Yeah, yeah. They're just another casualty of war.
Yeah.
Let me see. I had a couple other little noties about this episode.
Man, dude, it has been like, I think like a week and a half since I actually watched these. I'm starting to remember moments from it that are just so, so cool. One of them that just came to mind is in, I think, the next episode, so I won't mention it yet, but
Okay.
pretty wild.
Oh yeah, two things about this one. So after Jocasta Nu kind of figures out that Innocence is like an imposter and not really a Jedi, that bounty hunter like takes out Jocasta Nu and becomes her. And the lightsaber fight between her and Ahsoka is really good.
It is actually so cool, dude. Again, this is why like these were some of my favorite episodes. Like every aspect of the episode, it's like A tier, dude. It's all so good. The little roll she does over her back, in defense, to like swing is so cool.
It's really cool on a fight choreography level, on a animation model motion level, and on like a shot composition, directing, and editing level. Like, it just works really well. The setting is a great place for a fight.
Really good backdrop for it too.
Yeah, going through like the rows of books and everything, like, just rocks all around.
Yeah.
And it's believable that, like, I know we've talked before about how, like, I don't know if Ahsoka should be able to hold her own against like Ventress and General Grievous right now, but like this bounty hunter, it gives them a little bit of credibility of like, oh, okay, they're actually like quite tough because they know their way around a lightsaber. But Ahsoka does still win the fight, so it's like that to me is like an appropriate power scaling thing, which I don't really care about that much, but like it was a believable fight to me.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess I don't want to say I care about power scaling, but I guess I was saying that before. But it's just sometimes it's like I just cannot, it's harder to buy into it, I guess, if it's one character who's been positioned as so powerful and like a huge threat to our other titular characters who are like really powerful users themselves of the Force.
No, it does matter to me in that regard, though. Yeah, I don't mean to completely dismiss it as just like, oh, this. I guess I mean, like, I'm not super interested in like, oh, let's rank like the most powerful Jedi 1 to 10.
Ooh, let's do it though. Mace Windu, number 1.
More powerful than Master Yoda?
Mm?
In combat, probably, yes. But...
yeah, I don't know. Yoda lifted that whole spaceship out of the swamp, so
that's true. Mace Windu just pushed a whole ATTE walker off the cliff in the episode we saw earlier.
That's cool too.
Yeah, but it does matter to me in that way, like you're talking about, with actual like stakes of the plot, where I want to believe that the threats that you're setting up as being these big deal things are actually big deal things.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm a big fan of the way Ahsoka is moving in these fights now.
Yeah.
I think there is a little like confidence growth you can map onto that too.
Yeah.
So it's like it's pretty satisfying to see her actually, get to flex those abilities.
Honestly, I mean, I just thought of this just now, so this might be a silly thought or not worded exactly how I mean, but you saying that just like Ahsoka is the big original character of the whole show, the biggest new character from the whole show.
Yeah.
And it feels like she's like the baby of the people who made the show. Like they like Ahsoka a lot. They want to make her work. And it's almost like they are growing in confidence with the technology as well as the types of stories they can tell. She is growing in confidence as a character and like a fighter and a powerful Jedi. Like, I don't know. I think there's something to that of like probably a subconscious thing from the people making it, but just like everybody, the confidence of the creation comes through in like the character that they are probably focusing on the most as like this is the character that we are actually up to the characterization of completely. Everybody else we can have fun with, but they are shackled to what they do in the movies at the end of the day. This we can actually do whatever we want with her.
Yeah, that is super interesting. And to your point, she's like, because I guess, Cad Bane didn't exist before this, so he's an original
No.
too, but she's an original like on our side, the
Yeah,
side of the,
yeah.
the viewer. So, and she's basically in every episode at this point.
She's
So,
pretty much the main character of the whole show.
yeah,
Like,
that's nice. Yeah, I think it's like very clear to me. This is not a just like, yeah, we wanted to make a Star Wars project to just get some money and there were like there's a lot of heart put into this and intention, which is cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like, I'm sure there are some people who work on it who only care about the money side, but you can really tell that like on the writing and directing level, like they love this sandbox that they're playing in and they want to tell cool and fun stories with it.
Dude, I want to tell cool and fun stories in that sandbox.
Me too, man. All right, let's make our spin-off series Tales from the Clone Wars.
Ooh, okay.
And it's just like more like secret stories that we didn't get.
And Salacious Crumb narrates every episode.
Oh, okay. Woo! Yeah, he just does that over and over
It's
again.
getting pretty good.
Oh yeah, and the other thing I wanted to call out about this episode is when they're fighting on Felucia at the beginning, Captain Rex is telling all his guys to pull back, and he goes, "We are leaving," which has got to be a Modern Warfare reference, right?
Oh, I don't know. What is the reference from it?
Captain Price in Modern Warfare says like once per game in like big moments, "We are leaving," and like the exact same intonation that Rex says it there. I'm like, they gotta be aware of that.
Oh, maybe. I don't, I've only ever played I had those games, but I never played the campaigns.
Oh, really?
I would just play online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, never played the third campaign, but Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, pretty solid.
Oh, really? I kind of like always figured the Call of Duty campaigns were just, slopped together, and the online was the like big seller.
I mean, that is absolutely the case as of like, I would probably say like Modern Warfare 3 on.
Mm-hmm.
And multiplayer kind of always is like the priority, I think, from like the first Modern Warfare on. But Modern Warfare, World at War.
I loved World at War so much.
Oh yeah, just a nasty game.
Awesome.
Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and Black Ops 2 all have really good campaigns, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The first Black Ops campaign is great.
I don't know where I like got the idea, because like I've never heard anyone be like, yeah, they're terrible, or like I've never heard anyone say much about them at all, actually. But
I mean, after a certain point, they do get like, definitely that's the afterthought. But in the Xbox 360 days, for the most part, they put a lot of thought into the campaigns.
wasn't Kevin Spacey a character in one of the campaigns?
Yeah, that's I believe Infinite War, or it's either Advanced Warfare or Infinite Warfare that he's the. I think it's Advanced Warfare, and then what's his name? Kit Harington, is that Jon Snow?
Is he in one of them too?
He's in Advanced Warfare,
Oh,
I
wow.
think. I just a couple years ago was just kind of craving a Call of Duty campaign, and Advanced Warfare was like on the PlayStation Store for like $2. So I got it, and that's the one with Kevin Spacey. I
Oh,
believe.
okay, nice. Yeah.
Not a bad campaign.
What kind of character does he play? Is it we're going to war? Like what?
Pretty much, yeah. He's very generic, like profiteering type bad guy. Like, oh, like I'm wanting these conflicts to happen so I can push my like weapons manufacturing and stuff.
Nice.
Essentially,
Nice.
yeah.
It's where the big money is, folks.
Hey, Palpatine knows it.
Yeah. I made all my credits in droid factories.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lost it all on Sabacc.
Yeah, dude.
Oh well.
Damn cheaters.
Yeah, well, everybody cheats at Sabacc, man. You got to just cheat better.
Yeah, that's. I need the little what it was like a brooch or whatever that they snuck into that casino in one of those comics we read or something that was like helping them cheat. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a long time ago, I think.
It was in Heir to the Empire, right? In the book.
No,
Or
it was
are
in
you thinking of
I'm
something
thinking of
else?
something in a comic. Maybe there is
Okay,
a scene in
okay.
Heir to the Empire that like that too.
In one of those books, there's a scene where like Lando. It might not be the first book, but Lando. Man, it's in some Star Wars book. They all start to blend together.
Because it's a universe.
Exactly, and everything's real.
Yeah, it's all connected and everything influences each other, and they never, make mistakes about that.
Mm-mm. So, at the end of this episode, it's revealed that Cad Bane is on his way to find Jedi Master Bola Ropal, who has the crystal that will the memory crystal. Can't do it. The memory crystal.
No, it's like maybe I can do a Bane with it and it'll be it, but no.
Yeah. No, not enough Cad. Too much Bane.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can like open the holocron and access it because whatever. So the next episode, Cargo of Doom, directed by Rob Coleman and written by George Christic. This one's cool. The only note I really have for it is that the zero gravity fight was absolutely awesome.
I thought you were about to say you disliked it, and I was gonna be like, what?
No, that was a big highlight for me.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Every decision Cad Bane makes is so believably intelligent, and so strategic that I'm like, wow. I feel like I'm almost like, man, if I go back and I look at some of the other villains that we've seen, they're probably gonna look goofy as hell compared to like the way Cad Bane's playing.
Yeah,
it's really fun to watch.
He is really smart, and he negotiated with Palpatine that he would get a full like Trade Federation warship to do his mission.
Yeah, when they're like dropping like flies out of the sky, it's pretty funny. When is it Newt Gunray? Is that who that is? Yeah. When I'm learning because Star Wars Unlimited. This is the way.
Uh-huh.
He's like complaining about it. He's like, my ships, you know.
Yeah, well, he's the one who is liable for those things, you know. But don't worry, man. You'll be dead in a couple years.
Well, I thought you were going to say don't worry because Cad Bane assured him that, Darth Sidious would pay for those ships.
True, but they didn't quite get what they wanted. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, this episode is kind of just Cad Bane kidnaps that Jedi Master, who I already forgot the name of.
Wow, dude, that's terrible.
Bola Ropal.
Bola Ropal?
He's a Rhodian.
Yeah.
And he gets tortured to death in this one. Pretty intense.
And, mind you, the stupidest thing Cad Bane does in all of these episodes.
Yes, yeah. Where the droids are like, hey, I don't know if he can handle this. And he's like, are you a medical droid?
Yeah.
Then do what I say.
Yeah.
Turn it up all the way. And then it just immediately kills him.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, that was dumb. Which was also surprising me. I did not know Cad Bane was just going to be killing Jedi like that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and this is like kind of intense too. Like for at least for what this show is, I don't want to pretend like, oh my God, it's so dark, but like it is a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, the subject matter of these episodes is about stealing children, turning them into slaves, like
doing surgery on them. That they
yeah,
say like, oh, a lot of the children have not survived the surgery, but that's okay because we don't really have a shortage of like we'll just get more.
yeah, like ugh,
Yeah,
really dark stuff. But yeah, and then as you were talking about, the torture scene is like it's not. I mean, it's not like brutal torture, but it's not one they also turn away from. Like you just see
no,
this guy die.
yeah, they show you the whole thing, and there's no blood to it, but he is like screaming in pain a
Yeah,
lot.
and I don't know. You feel the weight of the moment still too, because it's like Cad Bane just killed a Jedi. He just dropped a
Yeah.
Jedi, not in a fight,
Mm-hmm.
like a captive Jedi.
And it has that like gross element to it that some scenes like this have in other things with like villains where the way he dies and how nobody cares is just so brutal, and it's like well we'll just get another one, and it's
Yeah,
like bro, that was like a whole guy with a life.
that is
Not
sad.
anymore.
I know I like he seemed cool too. I
Yeah.
like have a little soft spot in my heart for Rhodians,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, I know you like Rhodians. Well, we've still got Uncle Anno, the senator, the Rhodian
Oh,
senator on
okay. Oh,
Akonda
yes, that
Far.
is like tight with Padme.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, he's around. Uh, yeah, but it was sad. And then pretty cool. So he captures Ahsoka because she's like, "I'm going after him," and Anakin's like, "No, wait for me." He kind of has learned from when him and Obi-Wan encounter Count Dooku, and he's like, I'll take him now, in Attack of the Clones. But she gets, again, believably tricked and captured, and
Yeah.
she is a little overconfident and thinks she has him dead to rights, and she's all pissed at him because he killed the Jedi, and then he like grabs her ankle and electrocutes her and gets her trapped, and then puts Anakin in this ultimatum where he's like, "All right, I'm going to open up the airlock and kill her if you don't open the holocron for me right now."
Intense scene also, like
Yeah,
and also knowing like obviously Ahsoka isn't going out that airlock,
yeah,
but still like it was a very, very like tense moment and like there's just like so much going on in your head when you're watching like that negotiation play out because like Anakin cares so much about Ahsoka and Padme. I mean, Padme's not in this situation, but just like the two people who it feels like he'll make impulsive and sometimes bad decisions,
yeah,
like with the guise of nobility
totally.
because of them. And it does work out for him in most of these cases, but uh, it's certainly like, okay, Anakin, you shouldn't be going that route to do this. Like your attachment is like leading you versus the sort of utilitarian veneer that most Jedi's have.
Totally. I mean, Cad Bane picked the right Jedi to do that to,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of them would go just do the math of like, well, this is one Padawan versus like thousands of force sensitive children on this list. The choice is obvious.
I
Like,
know, and that's what I was gonna say. The other thing that you're thinking about is Ahsoka being like, "Don't do it."
yeah,
Like
yeah,
almost being like, no, she. There's been multiple instances where Ahsoka's like, "Okay, like I'm dying for the Jedi cause,"
yeah. And the
and
Blue Shadow virus
yeah,
one, yeah.
and she's like, "And that's good. Like I'm happy to die for the Jedi cause." I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if that's exactly what she's thinking in this situation, since it's like not as slow, drawn out. Like my life force is leaving me.
But she's willing to die for it, for
Yeah,
sure. She's not like, oh my God, please save me no matter what the cost. Like, yeah, which is right now she is fully ingrained in the Jedi way.
she's super interesting, dude. She's a
Yeah,
really interesting character.
she rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say she has a cool outfit in this one too. Her like red sweater.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
That is cool.
When I was a kid, let me preface this. When I was a kid, when I was
Just a little bit
11
younger.
years old watching this, that's when I was like, maybe I have a crush on Ahsoka.
You thought I was gonna say something like, "Oh, you shouldn't have a crush on Ahsoka."
Look, I'm saying now, she's what, like 15, 16 years old in this show?
Now? Oh,
In those episodes we just watched? So I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying I remembered watching these that when I was 11 years old watching it, I was like, I think I have a little crush on
All right, I
Ahsoka.
wasn't gonna say anything, but now you're over explaining.
Look, it's just a tricky thing, but I just wanted to say that because it did prompt the memory of watching it as a little kid, because I did not feel that way about Ahsoka at first, and then they switched up her outfit, and I was like, huh.
Well, you know, I'm far removed from thinking about the show in that lens of like, I'm a kid and like the other kids are my crushes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, was Ahsoka a character a lot of people like develop crushes on from this show?
I think so.
Mhm.
I mean, I haven't talked to a ton of people about that, but the couple other friends I had who also watched it when they were very young, like, also really liked Ahsoka.
Okay, interesting. Can we talk about how cool though it was seeing the Jedi Holocron actually open?
Yeah, that was sweet. The corners like turn and it
Yeah.
opens up like that.
I was like, man, I feel like we've just seen those really. Have we seen them open before in anything other than a comic?
I don't think so. Not like in motion.
I was like, man, this is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be open to that all the time. It'd be like my fidget toy.
Totally. Holocrons are a thing that become annoying to me because they start to get used like so much. Not necessarily in Clone Wars, but just in like all like, I don't know, like, not to be like Disney Star Wars as a blanket, but they seem to put like too much reliance on like the holocron as like a big MacGuffin in a lot of things, which starts to become annoying to me. But
just to like transfer data for things that are important.
Yeah, and it can easily just be like, oh, this is like a really big important thing because it has this important information on it, whatever that might be. And this is a good use of it, I think. I mean, that is like actually super important, the list of force sensitive children.
Yeah.
But,
so important that it shouldn't be on one singular data device.
Yeah, I agree.
And you know what? To their credit, maybe it was backed up in other places. The
True.
issue is Cad Bane taking.
Yes, yeah. They may not have like lost access to it because he got it, but still he's got it now.
I will say, this like stood out to me as so interesting. Like sometimes there's moments in Star Wars that like just zap you into real life for a moment, and you're like, oh yeah, like how would that? Is that a thing? Like, are there pencils in this universe or like weird little things like that?
Yeah,
because. Like they were like, it doesn't seem like anyone's copied any of the data off of this yet. And I was like, oh, well, they're talking like digital forensics, obviously, but like, can I take a picture of it, like with another device? So then will you know? Like, can I write it down?
Right.
Like, is it encoded in a way that doesn't make sense?
Yeah. How do they actually like get access to the information? Like, in my mind, and I think they even show it to be this in the comics we've seen and stuff, is like a little hologram of some master comes out and says stuff.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen in this one.
I know. I guess I was also just imagining like you kind of open it up and it just displays a screen.
Yeah.
Like the hologram screen, and you can go in and do whatever tabulations you need to on these Force kids. I don't know.
I always thought that was funny watching it as a kid too. Is like, I don't know how many times. Well, I know we have seen it at least a little bit so far. But whenever they're like handing data off to one another on like the bridge of a warship or something, they have like these little chunky tablets that have like two tubes on either side and almost V shape, and then like this tiny little screen in the middle. And it's always sort of like, okay, so this whole device is for that one piece of information.
Yeah.
Like this is not a reusable tablet. Like, it is disposable. You read this battle plan, it cannot be used for the next battle.
Oh, it's like paper to them, maybe. You know? That's just the.
But it's a whole like thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Just like there's like funny little moments like that. It's like just trying to imagine Yoda using like a ballpoint pen.
Yeah, for real. He would probably write with the Force though.
Oh, that'd be so cool, dude.
So this next episode is my favorite of the bunch.
This has the extremely cool thing in it that I didn't want to bring up before, and I won't bring it up yet. But yeah.
Cool. I mean,
I think so.
Go for it if you want. This is
this is when they capture Cad Bane, right?
Children of the Force. Yep. This is where they like torture him a little
That's
bit.
like one of the coolest Jedi scenes we've seen in the series so far for me.
Directed really cool too. The way they like
Yes.
Dutch angle zoom in on them like that.
And it's like, it's scary. It makes you think, like, man, kind of fucked up of the Jedi to be doing this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And they know it too. They
Yeah.
like acknowledge that it's fucked up and they just do it anyway.
Anakin is like kind of the most meh about it. He's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
no choice, and goes in to do it. But man, like, such a cool scene, and getting like the cracks of fear from Cad Bane there is super effective. I think,
Yes,
because he's
yes.
so cool and chill, like in all these intense situations, and then they start actually getting through to him, and like, oh man, I felt bad for him, which like shouldn't feel bad for Cad Bane.
No, but it is really cool to finally sort of have that sense of, oh, he actually is in over his head, because it doesn't feel like that. He seems like he always has an answer for everything. And then in that scene, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and Anakin are all like doing the mind trick on him at once to try and get the info. And he is like, look, guys, like, I know you're not going to go that far because you're Jedi and you're not, like, it's against your way to like torture me. So like you can fuck with me a little bit and maybe it'll mess me up a little bit, but you're not going to cross a certain line. And then Mace Windu's like, you're right, but I believe the fear of your employer will work for us here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like kind of forgot. Like he is actually answering to Darth Sidious
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the most scary, powerful guy in the whole fucking universe.
Yeah, how did he get on Palpatine's radar?
Yeah, totally.
That's
don't know.
interesting too.
I guess Palpatine probably just has all these eyes and ears everywhere and knows who the best bounty hunters are.
Yeah, but what like kind of heist or gig do you think put Cad Bane's name into notoriety?
Yeah, right. That'd be a fun. Maybe they have explored that in some book or something.
It's probably out there, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this a couple days ago. I was like, man, I think it was Saturday. I was like, if I wanted to, I was playing Star Wars Unlimited, the trading card game. I was like, if I wanted to, today, I could watch a brand new Star Wars movie. I could watch a brand new Star Wars show. I could play a brand new Star Wars game. I could read a brand new Star Wars book. And it's all going to be new to me.
Yeah.
And like, that's like, I was like, man, if I wanted to, if I quit work and I locked myself in for like months, I could just go on and on and on consuming Star Wars content if I wanted to, with like no fucking end in sight for a long time, probably.
Yeah.
New content to me, completely new.
Oh, I mean, truly me too. Like, and I've probably consumed like at least 10 times of what you have. I mean, I don't mean that in like a bragging way, just
Maybe
in like
probably more than 10 times, honestly.
But there's still like many video games that I have not played, many novels I have not read. Like, there's plenty of stuff I don't know anything about, and that is like always the exciting thing about it. It's like you never know when you're gonna just stumble upon this new magical thing where you're like, wow, I actually really like this a lot, and it's brand new.
It's also just nice, like, in the sense that, like, taking a step back from it like, Star Wars is a universe project IP that has been like the breeding ground for so many creatives, like, to tell their stories. I think that's like super cool that like everyone is adding to this giant tapestry, and like maybe sometimes it gets messed up by continuity and like corporate shenanigans and whatnot, but like the core idea of like building it together is still there and like a really nice thing. And I don't think there's too many IPs out there as massive like this as Star Wars like that.
No, I mean, I don't think so either. Even like Marvel, you could probably argue is like the closest thing, but that feels for some reason like less prestigious to me than Star Wars.
I agree, and I'm a Marvel guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even mean that as like a slight to Marvel or anything, but it's just like, I don't know, it's different. Like,
yeah, I guess like Star Wars feels more cohesive in everything in its universe, kind of having like an abstract one, but like I don't want to say central thesis, but something like adjacent to that,
Yeah, yeah, true. And like there are little short stories and stuff that have nothing to do with the central thesis, but you're right. Like all the I don't know. It is more consistent continuity than Marvel stuff as well, and there aren't like all these alternate universes and like oh the MCU is different than the comics is different than the TV shows or whatever. It's like it's all one thing. I mean, they
Yeah.
do have like the what if stories and exceptions to that, obviously, but
And I know we've talked about like it before with a lot of the comics we read early on, but like, does this feel like Star Wars? And like a lot of them, for the most part, it was like rare that one would feel not like Star Wars because
yeah,
it seemed like everyone was so good at like understanding. Okay, this is like the language of what we're doing. Like, let's roll with it.
yeah, and it would happen sometimes, but I do agree with you that for the most part, and I think that's just such a testament to the original movie. Like, what a goddamn incredibly compelling universe was created from that first movie. Like, that inspired so much imagination. And, like, there's not much like that is so specific in its telling, but also so expansive that it's like, holy shit, well, like, we could have an infinite amount of stories in this world because it's so rich and alive and history and future and everything. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
and this is just Star Wars. Like, kind of radiates goodness to me too. So I really like that about it.
That makes me very happy.
Yeah.
I totally I agree. Oh, and I wanted to call out Children of the Force, directed by Brian Kalin O'Connell and written by Henry Gilroy, who is one of like the lead writers for the whole show. Um, Oh yeah, we kind of forgot to mention the last episode. I forgot ends with these clones trying to fight Cad Bane, and then he kind of like fakes his own death and dresses up like a clone trooper, and then escapes through one of their ships and their hangars. And that was a cool moment where they're like, lock down the hyperspace rings, and Anakin fucking grabs onto the cockpit of the ship. That was
Yeah.
really well directed moment too, I think.
Man, again, and like that is there's so many moments like that where you're like, Anakin, what are you gonna do? What are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
he's just so impulsive.
yeah,
Like,
that's like he will just I don't know, man. That dog will hunt.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think, and like what I wanted to say also about the sort of quote unquote torture scene where they fuck with his brain, and Anakin is so gung ho and willing to do that. That is pretty much like in line with his characterization anyway. But I think that it goes unstated. But he is now like Cad Bane is not just like a regular like bad guy to him anymore. Like
Oh,
he hates Cad Bane now
yeah.
because he tried to kill Ahsoka and like put her in that situation. And now he's like angry at Cad Bane, and it's not just a regular mission anymore.
I don't know if he will do anything like this in the show because I don't know if that is like that would feel like it's too early for anything like that. But man, I really want to see him rage out on someone a little bit. There's been people he's been really mad at who've played with the lives of like Padme or Ahsoka, and it's like I'm like I want to see him get to the point. I guess I don't, but I do.
Hey, and I mean, in here, as compared to the movies, we get a lot of times where he is not really supervised, and things could happen that nobody would know about.
Yeah, true.
So,
But yeah, he's got a history of doing bad things when nobody knows about it. So
hmm and he has to act all good in front of Mace Windu and Obi-Wan, but when he's on his own, he kind of goes crazy sometimes.
Mace Windu knew though, dude. He always knew Anakin was.
Oh yeah, he didn't want him there when he was 9 years old. Oh man, the scene, I don't even know why I like this scene so much, but in this episode, they're all meditating about the targets that Cad Bane will go after.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to ask you about this actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just say what I was going to say real quick and then ask away. But uh, so there's like a Gungan. They sort of, it's Obi-Wan, Yoda, Mace Windu, and Anakin all sitting in a circle meditating in one of their classic noir shades, blinds in the Jedi Temple rooms, and they go like, I'm sensing one on Naboo, like a Gungan child, and then I'm sensing one on Rhodia as well, or what was it?
Was it the one Mace Windu sensed?
Well, Obi-Wan also sensed one. There's a Gungan baby, and then Obi-Wan stops the other baby from getting.
The Gungan was on Naboo, right?
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's the one that Obi-Wan goes to.
Yes.
Oh, he actually doesn't stop Cad Bane from taking that one.
Yeah,
that one's a Rhodian too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's the one at the end who, like, you almost think is going to die and fall into the lava.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so they actually stop Cad Bane from taking the Gungan one, and that's when they capture him and torture him and figure out where they're going. But before that, they're trying to figure out what targets he's after. Okay, sorry, I'm repeating myself now. But Obi-Wan's like, I sense one on Rhodia. Yoda's like, I sense one on Naboo. Mace Windu is like, I sense one on Glee and Silm, a Nautolan. And Yoda is like, no, that's too late for that one. Like, that one is already too far under the influence of the dark side. Like, we got to focus on what we can actually focus on. And Mace Windu like pushes back a little bit and is like, are you sure? Like, we're just gonna give up on that kid?
The kid who also was still on the list, so is still a target.
Yeah, well, that was the other kid who was on Mustafar. So they did get that kid back too eventually, but they didn't know that. And Yoda is just like, no, it's too late for that kid. We got to focus on what we can control. And like, I don't even know if he's necessarily wrong, but that I guess I don't know what my like thought or conclusive thought about that scene is, but it was just so interesting to me. Mace Windu like pushing back a little bit and being like, well, what do you mean? Like, are you sure we just give up on that or what?
Yeah.
Like, it was a weird scene.
I feel like that has to just be wrong of Yoda to have made a declaration like that. I mean, it's crazy to me to absolutely write off anybody.
Yeah,
as having no more ability to grow or change, especially a child.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but it's like we also know, like, hey, Darth Vader, Anakin comes back to the good side towards the end of his journey. Like, we can't invest anything in like helping a kid.
Yeah, but I don't think Yoda or Obi-Wan believed that Darth Vader would come back from the dark side, and they were kind of telling Luke the whole time that you're gonna have to kill him, and Luke is who believed that he could.
Yeah, well, that's their flaw.
Yeah,
they're absolutist about it,
which is a constantly interesting thing about the Jedi, because I want to just love Obi-Wan and Yoda unequivocally, and I do love Yoda in the original, in Empire especially, but like, they're as we have said many times, they are kind of fucked up guys.
Yeah, that scene also, though, I will say, is really cool in the sense for Yoda, because I felt like he was the one guiding the hand of the meditation.
Yeah,
where he'd be like, oh yeah, you see that? Like, think a little, like, yeah, there they are. I see them too. Like, someone would say something, Yoda would be like, oh yeah, yep, that is one. Or like, oh no,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, wow.
It's a cool ethereal thing where they're like all putting their minds together, but he's kind of, like the leader of it. And he's the most connected to the Force, and they're almost like using him as a conduit to expand their own Force connection and stuff. It's very cool.
I wish I could do this shit, dude.
Yeah, same. So then, Anakin and Ahsoka go to Mustafar. Kind of interesting. That Anakin has spent some time on Mustafar before Revenge of the Sith, but a nice fight between them and these robots, because the droids obviously have no chance in like a straight up fight against them, but they're like holding the babies in front of them.
Yeah.
Cool like visual of just that whole facility falling into the lava and everything while they save them. But the main takeaway from this, in my opinion, crazy weird scene when Palpatine is, well, as Darth Sidious is the hologram walking through the facility and like looking over the babies and going all like that. And he literally says like, yes, I foresee an army of force sensitive assassins that, you know, I can train and keep under my watch. And it's like, yeah, they're not going to be actual Sith. He's going to keep all the real good stuff away from them. But like, he's trying to build like a little force sensitive army of children here. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, that is crazy.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see him try and continue forward with this plan or not.
Yeah, I wonder. No, it's just something to keep an eye on.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I was like, wow, they are setting that up here. Okay. That's cool. Without saying too much, but yeah.
What could they be setting up? Season 4?
Probably.
How many seasons of this are there again? 7?
7, yeah. But there are only...
It's crazy. We have a lot to go.
Mm-hmm. It's only 5 before we will move on to other stuff and then come back to it. Because the first 5 seasons all aired in a row. Then it got canceled. Then Netflix picked up like the lost episodes. And that was season 6. And then... And that was when we were in high school. And then when we were in college, they finally put out like the final season.
Damn, I'm sorry you guys had to wait for these.
It was a bummer because it truly ended with like no good conclusion and just straight up got canceled.
Was it like a cliffhanger or just kind of fizzle ending of like, okay, see you next week?
Yeah, pretty much. From my memory, I don't remember what the last episode of season 5 is. But I don't remember it being very satisfying as like a conclusion of the show.
Like if it ended on this like Padme spy episode. Yeah. Not a bad episode, but like...
But it's just over after that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, very nice natural transition into the Padme spy episode. This episode called Senate Spy. Unless you have more you want to say about the previous one.
No, I was just basking in that compliment.
Oh, okay. Nice. So, Senate Spy, directed by Stuart Lee and written by Melinda Sue.
She sounds familiar. She's written a couple of these, right?
No, because I thought so too, and I looked it up, and she does write one more episode later, but this is the first one she's done. But, like, I recognize that name.
Did she write another, like, animated series or something?
I don't know. I need to do a little more research on her. But I just looked her up in a Star Wars context, and... For Star Wars, all she's done is this episode and then one more later.
Okay.
So if we do know her, it's from something else. But it is interesting to see that there's like a woman writing this stuff sometimes too. Just because of how rare that is. It's not like that should be such a noteworthy thing, but it is because almost none of the episodes are written by women. And so far, I don't think a single one has been directed by a woman.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow.
And then the only, from my memory, I could be wrong, there might be one other woman writer. But from my memory, the only other woman writer was George Lucas's daughter. So not great.
It must clearly just be that women don't like Star Wars, and there's probably no other like factors.
Well, they don't have good ideas for it.
Yeah. Doesn't a woman run like Star Wars now?
Yeah. And that, of course, is the source of so much nastiness on the internet.
Yeah. Does she still do it? I feel like I heard her step down. Maybe
I believe she stepped down. I can't quite remember. Kathleen Kennedy is who you're thinking of.
Okay, yeah.
But like she's been around since the original trilogy, and she does kind of annoy me when her public appearances and the way she talks about Star Wars. is a little annoying to me. But in no way am I one of these guys that's like, she is responsible for the destruction of everything. And
Man, if you like had this entire time kept your like Disney hatred and like that mentality secret, and then when we get there, you unleash it. I don't know what I would do.
I'm just like a full-on bigot once we get to 2015.
I guess, dude. Conversely, I could be swayed that way when we get there. Maybe it like
True,
really
true.
radicalizes me against it.
And a woman was in charge of the Acolyte show as well, which, of course, led to super constructive and positive discussions on the internet about, who should and shouldn't be allowed to be in charge of Star Wars projects.
Yeah, the rule should be no women.
Yeah, that's probably what the issue is.
That would fix it. There's probably never been a man who did a bad Star Wars project.
No. Well, there's not.
Okay. No.
Yeah, nobody seems to like have the same vitriol when they talk about J.J. Abrams. They don't like his Star Wars movies, but there's not that like edge of hatred that you hear from other stuff.
Man, it's like every once in a while I am reminded that he did a Star Wars movie, and that's so weird to me.
He did too.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
But that's cool, I guess.
Is it? We'll see. So, Senate Spy. This is a pretty cool episode, I think. Essentially, there's this guy, Senator Rush Clovis, that we mentioned at the top of the episode. He is a senator with the banking clan, and the Jedi are suspicious that he is working with the Separatists in some capacity. So they decide to have Padme spy on him, and they tell Anakin, it's your job to convince her to do that, because
they're fucking with him like so hard.
They know. They know. They all know.
It's really funny, and he just can't say anything.
I loved that scene where they were talking to him, and they go like, we know that in the past, sorry, I'm doing a Mace Windu voice.
Yeah.
But look, I'm trying to sound specifically like Mace Windu, okay?
I was smiling because you sounded like it.
I don't know if I'm supposed to do that voice, but they say, like, we know that, in the past, Padme and Clovis were close friends. Yeah. And then Anakin's like, I didn't know that. And then it zooms in on Obi-Wan and he, like, raises his eyebrow. And I'm like, oh my God, this rocks.
Super, super funny. Also, how do they have the intel on Padme's personal life and her romantic relationships?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they were around during her kind of senatorial beginnings while, Obi-Wan and Anakin were away from Coruscant for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Anakin saw her at all after Phantom Menace until the beginning of Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I feel like if they interacted in that time, you would have probably seen some story or something about that at this point.
Yeah. I mean, they may have, like, ships in the night crossed each other's paths or whatever, but yeah.
You know what is interesting? So the narration for this episode, like starting it out, I think this is the first time they actually say, like, and Padme, Anakin's wife.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I know, you don't really hear the word wife.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I guess, like, we knew they were, but yeah. Wife guy Anakin.
Mm-hmm. And I think he comes around to being likable in the way he treats her in this episode. I'm just thinking of the season finale of season 1 where he's very manipulative to her and scary, and I did not like that.
Yeah.
And this one, he is a little bit that at the beginning of the episode, but it is more understandable and just kind of immature from him rather than like calculatingly manipulative.
Wait, what is he immature about in this one? Like in the beginning of the episode? Because like I'm recalling them being like, Anakin, you need to cut. Oh wait, I'm okay. You're talking about the stuff with Clovis.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
and him wanting her to go on this mission in the first place and being like, well, okay, because it's actually really a nicely written moment now that I'm remembering it. He, in the narration, they're like, some much needed alone time with his wife or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And so the episode starts with him and her just hanging out one on one and having a nice romantic moment. Then he's been ignoring calls from Obi-Wan all night, and then eventually he's like, I can't keep ignoring it, or else they will like send out a bunch of clones to come looking for me, and they'll find me here, and that'll just I should just go. And she's like pretty understanding, but still like a little bit upset. She's not even mad at him. She's just kind of upset about the situation.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, duty, you know that in time of war, like duty comes first. And then they send him to go convince her, and this is all pretty good stuff, where he comes and he's like, oh, come on, like you're not still mad about it. By the way, like, how about this thing with like Senator Clovis? And she's like, oh, okay, so that's the only reason why you came to talk to me right
Yeah,
now?
she's like, you're here on official Jedi business then,
Nice.
it seems.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. But then they have this whole conversation where he's like, I don't want you to do this because it's dangerous, and like you'll be getting involved with like people like Newt Gunray, who we know wants to assassinate you all the freaking time and all this stuff. And also the added layer of he's like jealous of Clovis and didn't know that she kind of probably used to have a boyfriend before him and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But then she flips it on him and she's like, no, actually, I wasn't going to do it because I didn't want to spy on Clovis, but you've made me realize that it is important. And, in a time of war, duty comes first. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Really throwing it back in his face there. But the thing that's also so funny about that scene is Anakin coming in being like, yes, like the Jedi told me to convince you to do this, but I don't want you to do it actually. So he's there like delivering the message, but like trying to make sure she doesn't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the other thing that was kind of interesting and weird to me was she like didn't know the full situation about Clovis or the Jedi suspicions. They like didn't really fill her in.
Yeah, they just told her like keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
even
like
Anakin didn't tell her.
Yeah, that's like when she was like, "Oh, he might be working with the Separatists." What? Like she was very shocked by that. It was the first time she'd heard it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so strange the Jedi would like keep all of that so close to the chest, but it's like dangerous in these situations not to give people the full information though.
Absolutely. And we've seen how it goes wrong every time.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, hey, maybe I get Anakin hating the Jedi. Well, they don't care about Padme. They're just gonna throw her to Clovis. He could have been the meanest, most brutal man out there. I don't know.
He does end up becoming a little bit redeemable by the end of the episode, but so yeah, she like rekindles their relationship and gets invited to be brought to this summit with him or whatever, where he's going to meet up with Lot Dodd, the senator for the Nemoidians, and also Poggle the Lesser, the Geonosian leader. And Anakin is kind of like undercover as a Naboo pilot along with Captain Panaka. And right away, they have had one conversation before this, but they're getting onto the ship. And Clovis goes, if you get tired, you can put your head on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, weird, very direct. And Anakin, does a thing to make sure they're not sitting right by each other or whatever. But then, and I get why they do this for like, oh, Anakin's getting jealous and does little silly things. But then like, as they're leaving Coruscant, Anakin's watching them on a little screen in the cockpit, and he's going in to try and make out with her right away, and she's very obviously like pulling away and like, oh no, and he's still like going in for it hard.
Weird setting to like just start your makeout sesh too. Like, what?
I know, like
we're not in the back of a limo right now. I guess maybe it is that to him.
Yeah, I guess so, but it seems like you're gonna have the opportunity later on this retreat that you're on. If it's gonna happen, like it'll probably happen after the banquet.
He mentions giving her a tour like 3 times.
Yeah.
Before she's
It's
finally
time
like,
for my private tour.
yeah. Are you sure, madam? You wouldn't like me to stay a bit longer?
Yeah.
Well,
You're dismissed for the
C-3PO.
night. Yeah. He was pretty good in this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the capacity I like C-3PO in, is kind of just being bullied and
Yeah.
always wanting to help and be like, nobody listens to me. Yeah, I like that.
Are we going to get a C-3PO solo episode here? Or like a droid solo episode in the future?
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
We kind of got that C-3PO Jar Jar episode earlier.
C-3PO Jar Jar. Oh, yeah, with the Bombad Jedi.
But that was more of a Jar Jar episode. But C-3PO was kind of like the second main character in that one.
How about that Gungan lady, by the way?
Where?
With the baby?
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm going backwards.
Yeah. I
Nice little
wrote down
ponytail.
that the baby looked very scary. They have such huge heads, all the babies.
I have to take a second look at the baby. I was like truly like enamored's a little more like romantic a word than I want it to be, but I was enamored by her. Just the character design for that like Gungan woman was interesting to me.
I need to take another look at her because I don't remember the ponytail, but I believe you. So yeah, the plot of this is like not that crazy. It's just like, yeah, like we said, they're building a new droid factory, and Padme finds out about it. She gets poisoned, and then they gotta get the antidote. And Clovis, even though he is on the Separatist side, as soon as she gets poisoned, he's like, okay, that is actually my priority. I'm gonna help Anakin save her.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool of him.
Yeah, and he kind of like you see some of the turmoil within him there. So I appreciate that, them showing us that, because first he's like, well, no, you have to give me the like information pad back, and then it's like, well, no, actually, okay, I do want to help like Padme. I don't want her to die. I love her. Which, wow, he loves Padme.
Yeah, and it even is that added layer of like, some people would be so jealous or whatever that like, oh, clearly this is like her boyfriend and she was just using me this whole time, but I still care about her enough that I'm gonna look past that for now and help her out.
Yeah, and then
even though she was lying to me this whole time, but he was lying to her too, so
yeah, about like what he was actually doing, but about his matters of the heart.
No, that was all true from Clovis. Lies from Padme.
Yeah. And what's worse to lie about? Work or your heart?
When your work is warmongering. I do like the moment also where, this is what I'm saying about how Anakin kind of redeems himself from being annoying to like being a little bit mature in these, is because once they land, for a while he's very antsy and like, no, she's gonna call me like any second, like, no, it's fine, like as soon as, and he's like working on the ship and stuff. As we know, he tries to just like do stuff with mechanical things when he's stressing out, and then when he does get called in and he sees that they're like like she kind of has to like throw herself onto him to keep him from seeing that she has like the data card in her hand, and Anakin has this moment of like getting pissed off that she's like hugging on him, and then she like kind of flashes the data card and he's like, okay, and then at the end, you know, as we, again, like there is actually a little bit of like subtextual writing going on, which like you have to sometimes even allow yourself to think in that way, because it is kind of rare for a show like this to not just say out loud everything that the characters are feeling. But he is like, in the end, she's like, oh, you saved me. I'm sorry. And he's like, what are you apologizing for? I made you doubt me, that I was like, that I had feelings for this guy. And he's like, no, I never doubted you. And it's like, well, maybe he did for a bit, but he's not going to say that.
Yeah.
And now he's realizing, and it's not even like that problematic of a thing for him to say, because he's realizing like, I shouldn't have doubted her. That was silly of me.
Yeah, a little emotional growth in Anakin there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he calls out Clovis at the end for like having a good heart. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
he does like sort of leave him there to fend for himself.
yeah.
But he's like, you know, I don't think he has like what we were talking about earlier, like the vitriol that he had for Cad Bane with Clovis.
No, no, totally not. And I think he would have if, except Clovis did show that like he's like, okay, I am actually going to drop everything because now it's a life or death situation, and Padme dying is more important than me securing this business deal or whatever.
I wonder, does he keep his spot as a senator now, or are we gonna get some aftermath of this? I
Yeah,
guess.
there's more Clovis stuff
Yeah. Okay.
later. Yeah, which I don't really remember exactly how that goes because this is an episode I haven't seen in forever.
Yeah, I'm super curious what they do with him. I will say, like, totally understand it, and I think it makes sense to do it this way, especially when you set it up like this in the episode. But I was a little bummed that he like actually was working with the separatists. I thought it was a bit like I was like, I don't know, it could have been interesting if it was something else going on there, or they were led astray to think he was a spy or something.
Yeah,
But
totally.
you know, not that's not a true complaint. That's just a different story route. I think I would have enjoyed too.
I agree. I mean, they do kind of always give us the viewers an out to like know who the good guys and bad guys are, and like we've talked about that before where like, oh, these planets aren't sure like what side they want to take, and then it's like that's interesting, but at the end of the day one of them is like firebombing civilians.
Yeah.
So like, okay, well, obviously they're the bad guys. um so it's kind of like that to a lesser extreme degree. But then, I mean, he might not even really, he might just be kind of like stupid and not think about it in like an evil way. He's just like making money, which is bad. Obviously, I'm not excusing that, but
He does kind of seem like, and I'm curious about the character's background. Like he's in his own world, you know, very
total like rich
sheltered,
kid,
yeah,
like,
from everything.
yeah.
Like the way that character, like the design and the way he moves and like the actions he physically took, some of that Padme stuff really signals all of that, I think.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Also, let me just call out Padme's outfit at the very beginning of the episode.
I can't get behind animated Padme like this. I don't know.
I couldn't get behind her when they were like, oh, change for the fancy dinner. And then they had the big reveal of her looking all beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Her hair was not good there, but
her like facial structure in the animation looks scary to me though.
yeah, it's very skeleton-y.
Yes, yeah.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. I just kind of imagine Natalie Portman.
I mean, I'm with you with Natalie Portman.
Yeah, well, how could you not be? Well, anything else on that one?
No.
Okay. So, next time we are going to do 4 more episodes. We've got episode 5, 6, 7, and 8. There will be a very fun Star Wars Unlimited card reveal, I guess, or context reveal in these episodes.
This is a really fun part about watching the Clone Wars because there's so many characters that I guess come from here that like Star Wars Unlimited is obviously trying to like use up all their characters. So it's fun seeing like wait, I kind of recognize that guy. Then I'm like, oh wait, he does +3 damage or like whatever. You know?
Yeah, it does. Totally like get in your brain. Even the deck building game too, the other card game. Like whenever I'm watching it and Connor and Patrick also see some, they're like, "Oh, nice! So that lets you put a card on top of your deck." Yeah, but there's just a card in particular I'm thinking of that I know for a fact has been used in matches we've played against each other. That I'm like, and it's from these episodes.
Do I use it or do you use it?
You have used it.
Oh, okay, interesting. Again, I'm trying not to like really look at some of the card art sometimes, you know.
Sure. They're at least from what I've seen, there is only 1, maybe 2 cards that have actual like spoilers that I would be kind of bummed if you knew about. Not that big a deal, but just as far as I've seen, there's 2 Clone Wars spoilers on cards that I've noticed.
From the first 6 movies, what do you think would have been the biggest thing that if I had it spoiled, you would have been super bummed about?
From a card?
No, sorry, just in
Oh,
general.
in
Like,
general.
if, yeah, like, what we were doing this.
Yeah, I mean, you already knew the I am your father stuff. You'd already knew that. I don't know. I guess it would just be more. Yeah, no big plot things really.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what has really shocked me and that I didn't see coming at all. I would say probably it's not a huge thing, but like Count Dooku dying in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, like
Yeah,
really didn't see that coming. Just thought he'd be around a little longer in that movie, but you know.
I guess it's just not really like plot spoilers I can think of, but just all the specifics of all the characters and like where the story actually goes. Like
Yeah,
um, and I don't know. I think about like your predictions for Phantom Menace and like how it was like, oh, Anakin and Padme are like 2 Jedi who in training and blah 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 and all this stuff. And it's like, I mean, that's not necessarily like a spoiler if you knew that she wasn't a Jedi before we started watching, but it's just nice to like have those discoveries, I guess.
actually, do you know why I thought she was a Jedi?
Because of like some fan art or something.
I don't know if it's fan art, but it was when we first looked at the tabletop role playing games and we read the first edition book. I accidentally grabbed whatever the first edition of the prequel role playing game was, and I didn't read it obviously because once I started looking at it, I was like, okay, this is not, what is this? But it had Padme on the cover, I think, and she had a lightsaber in her hand.
Oh, damn.
Unless it was someone else, and I'm just like really mixing up. But I remember being like, oh, is that Natalie Portman? So
I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah.
Because I'd be surprised if they did that. But maybe they did because it's like, oh, you can do whatever you want in this. You could give her a lightsaber if you wanted.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Maybe it was just they were playing off her being in the movie, so it was an illustration of a woman that looked almost like her, but was supposed to be like your own Jedi.
Mm-hmm. That could be it. But this episode that we just watched, Senate Spy, directly sets up the next 4 episodes. Now they know the location of this new droid foundry on Geonosis, and they are going to go and try and shut it down.
Nice.
And that's the next arc that we have. And it's great.
Really?
Yes.
It's a good one? Nice. Cool. These were like so good. I love these episodes. So
I'm really glad to hear that. I love them too. I've been having a great time going back through this. The ones I already know I like, I'm always happy to watch again. And the ones I haven't seen in forever have not all been incredible, but have all been very interesting to me.
There's morsels in everything also.
Yeah. There's at least one like very weird specific scene in almost every episode that something to like latch on to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm hopeful that continues because I was looking through all the episodes yesterday, and man, there are a couple arcs where I'm like, oh god,
Arcs,
like 4 episode arcs. But maybe I was just in the wrong headspace when I watched them. Yeah, hell yeah. Wow, look at that.
Sorry,
on the waveform.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. You see an opportunity for a big high five, you got to take it.
Yeah,
I understand.
You just left it hanging up there.
Yeah, there are some that I look at on the surface and I'm like, oh god. But then I'm like, you know what? I've felt that way about stuff that we've already watched, and I've ended up really enjoying watching it. So maybe it'll be the same.
Yeah, I can't think of an episode where I'm like, oh, I dislike that so much. Like, I don't ever want to think about it again.
But I think it is already getting better, like season 2 compared to season 1.
Like I said, these are some of my favorite episodes we've watched so far. I think these probably are better than the season 1 episodes.
Yeah, I would agree. Other than, I've said it a million times, but Lair of Grievous and the Ryloth stuff are really good. But not like the other stuff is bad, but like this seems like a level of quality consistency bump up a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, any other thoughts?
You will like this podcast.
You will download it and share it to 5 friends.
Really quick thing about that scene that I didn't mention earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So Mace Windu does it. This order may be wrong. Obi-Wan does it. Anakin does it. Ahsoka's in the room with them. And it sort of pans over to her a little bit and it lingers on her for a second. And I almost thought she was going to join in with them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's like, and I was trying to think, like, what would that mean for the character here? And, like, what does it mean that she's just the Padawan observing this? Like, kind of unethical Jedi moment here where they fully know that they may be breaking someone's mind, but are putting that aside.
Yeah, they're like, oh, the stakes are too high. We have to do it. Yeah, that is interesting. Do they worry that like, oh, Ahsoka's too weak, that this would like tempt her to the dark side, or actually just like completely fry his brain immediately if she tried to do it? Because, but
Yeah.
then also, if you remember, in the season 1 episodes where they had Newt Gunray as a captive and her and Luminara were guarding him, she's like, just like start wrecking his brain, like getting his head and
Yeah.
stuff. And Luminara's like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Maybe that's why they didn't want Ahsoka participating there.
Yeah.
But keep her out the room then. I was like, man, she's getting a front row seat to this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. That is, I don't really know what the intention there is on the creation standpoint, but it does feel to me like they're like, oh, she's not ready to like be a part of this. But then, yeah, like you said, why is she even there?
Yeah. I don't know. To me, I was like, feels like they're telling me this is a moment I should remember for some reason. So I don't know if there's some character thing that trickles back to this moment or something. Like maybe not overtly said, but I don't know. We'll see.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but that doesn't really mean anything. I forget a lot of stuff all the time. So we will see. I mean, I've said it before. Great character to just keep an eye on and see where she goes.
Yeah.
Because it definitely gets interesting. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and see you later.